Hello everybody and welcome, this is EDS here, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to use the application Dolphin Emulator on your Samsung Galaxy S20. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go to your App Store and go ahead and type in Dolphin, download the emulator. Once it is downloaded, it'll open up on your phone right here. And before we get started, you can see I have a couple of games pre-installed that I will be testing for this video. I'm going to go over the specs real quick. So the Samsung Galaxy S20 5G, the one that I have, has 128 gigs of storage and 8 gigabytes of RAM, which is more than enough RAM to take care of any of the games that I'm going to be showing you in this video. And of course it does sport the Qualcomm SM8250 Snapdragon 865 5G 7nm chip. That will be, again, more than enough power to play any of the games that I'll be showcasing. I won't be showcasing any of the harder to run games like Star Wars Rogue Squadron, simply because I'm not interested in that game. This also comes with the Adreno 650 GPU. And let's go ahead and get into some specs for this. So, first you're going to want to go to Settings, go to Graphics Settings, and select Vulkan as your backend. There are some games that will perform better with OpenGL. For example, Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door and Luigi's Mansion will both perform better on OpenGL. But for most of the emulation you're going to use, Vulkan would be the preferable chipset. In here I have shader compilation mode set to specialize, which is default. You don't have to change that. I have aspect ratio set to default. You can go to enhancements and change the internal resolution. Here I'm actually going to click on 2x native. You can have full screen aliasing. I don't usually do that. Anisotropic filtering, texture filtering, color correction, post effect. All of these things can be disabled. Scale EFB copy set to on by default. Force 24-bit color by default, per lighting set to off. Disable fog, I will disable fog because it will be it'll be useful for Metroid Prime 2, which I will show later. Disable copy filter, arbitrary minimap, all that other stuff you can pretty much disable. Widescreen hack can be used for most of your Gamecube games, although it does cause clipping on the edges of the screen for games like Metroid Prime 1 and 2. I will leave that disabled for this video. Next, I'm going to show you in the hacks category. We have scale EFB access from CPU. It says ignore any request from CPU to read or write to the EFB. I keep this as disabled by default. Ignore format changes, store EFB to texture only, and defer EFB copies to RAM. I have all enabled by default. And the rest of the options here you don't have to worry about. None of the tinkerings of the rest of the options in the hacks category will actually increase performance. And with the Adreno 650 GPU, combined with the 865 rather, we're not going to have any issues with performance here. So we're going to go ahead and back up, and I'm going to go to GameCube input. And here I have a PS4 controller, which I will connect real quick. You're going to want to hold the home button and the start button until the thing starts flashing. And then there we go, connect the wireless controller. Good to go, click done. Now to emulate it, you're gonna go to the GameCube input for controller 1, go to emulate it, go to settings over here. And then in this little drop section here, we have all the buttons that you can configure your controller to. Just go ahead and configure it to whatever you want. I already have my stuff configured, so we'll just go ahead and start with the game testing. So one of the easiest games to run on the emulator will be Pokemon Colosseum, which I will go ahead and showcase here. Actually, let me go ahead and see if I can find the show FPS part. Okay, so I don't know where show FPS is. Oh, looks like I actually have to redo it. Hold on. So actually, I will go ahead and configure the controller because for some reason it's not coming up properly. So let's go back to the GameCube input section, emulated, click that, little settings icon. And then go to the controllers. Okay, for some reason my controller is not inputting. I don't know why. All right, hold on a second, guys. Okay, sorry about that. So yeah, so I'll go ahead and I'll map each of the controls. X, Y, Z, start is start, and the rest of it is fine. So we'll back up again. Let's go ahead back into the game. There we go. See, what was happening a second ago is that I was pressing the circle button on the PS4 controller, and for some reason it was exiting out to a different menu. There we go, get a little bit more backlight there. So yeah, Pokemon Colosseum definitely shouldn't have any lag issues whatsoever. You, of course, can use the on-screen controls. You can disable the overlay as well. I'll show that in a second. Actually, let's go ahead and show it right now. So you can see Colosseum boots up just fine. So next we'll try Pokemon XD, my favorite Pokemon game, and my favorite GameCube game, rather. So overlay controls, if you want to turn them off, you can go to Toggle Controls, Toggle All, and then it'll disappear. If you want to turn them back on, go back to it, Toggle Controls. Whoops, wrong button. Again, Toggle Controls, Toggle All, and then they'll come back on. So actually, it didn't. A did not come back on because I didn't click it. So A, B, Toggle All. Now they're all off. Okay. I need to clean my screen. Hold on a second. There we go. Sorry, I just had to clean the screen real quick. It was a little messy. One of my favorite games of all time, Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness. Playing perfectly at 720p on the Samsung Galaxy S20. Forgive all the autofocusing issues. I'm doing this with a pretty dark backlight, so. Alright, now let's boot up Metroid Prime. My favorite Metroid game. Well, my second favorite Metroid game. Prime 2 is my favorite. Goodness gracious. Screen is all smudged. So yeah, you can see Metroid Prime works with no lag whatsoever. Running at 60 frames per second. I would show the FPS, but I don't actually know where the FPS show option is. Alright, and the last game we're going to test is going to be Metroid Prime 2 Echoes. Now this game, I have had some issues with running on older Android phones, specifically the Samsung Galaxy S10 and S9. I've had issues with running it on those. Now, I don't have any graphics, or not graphics, I don't have any speed running, like, playback speed, running speed, emulation speed, there we go. I don't have any emulation speed issues running this on the Samsung S20 or on the S22, which I will showcase, or S23, which I'll showcase in another video. But I do have issues with the graphics sometimes. So this is actually the game that the disable fog thing is essential for, because it helps you see a little better in the game. Like when you go underwater in the areas of Torvus Bog, there is a fog until you get the gravity boost, but there is no fog when you play it with the disable fog option. And that helps you see better. But the main drawback to this, now, you see there is actually some graphics. So I'm getting a little bit of slowdown here. And I think that is because I am running it at a higher FPS. And also, it tends to only happen during combat. So the thing you're going to see here is that the lights... So this is supposed to be a bluish color, and then these are supposed to be green, but they're not glowing. And I think the way I fixed that was by going into my graphics settings. And, well, first let's turn the instant resolution back to 1 rather. I think the way I disabled this feature was by store EFBs to texture only. Or maybe not. Actually, that disabled my scan visor. Hold on a second. Okay, hold on. So yeah, don't have that enabled. Apparently disables the scan visor. So I still have the scan visor enabled, but the graphics are weird. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure how to fix that problem, but it doesn't prevent you from scanning anything as long as you don't have that other option I selected open. But that's going to go ahead and do it for this video, guys. I hope this was informative to you in some way or form. If this was, please go ahead and leave a like on the video. If you're new to the channel, subscribe to see more content like this in the future. I post videos every single day. And until next time, this has been ZDS, making YouTube fun one video at a time, and I will see you guys in the next video. Have a good night, everybody.